Tatum.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still the answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum Show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still the answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Tatum Show. I got my Trump hat on. I'm in the Trump spirit on a Friday. Also, shout out to Shinergy. I got it mixed up, ready to go. This stuff gives me incredible energy, and it's all natural. And that's the reason why I'm glad that I formulated with Steve to make the product, and the product is great. We already got reviews coming in. We've had 600 customers so far that have gotten Shinergy, and I'm hoping that it goes up into the thousands. And why? Because it's a good product, and it really works. When you make a product that's not for profit and you make it because there's a purpose, the profit chase you down the street. That's just how it happens. Okay, let's talk about the wife beater, Kilmar. Mr. Kilmar Garcia, the left's love child. They literally tried to make this man a martyr. They tried to say that this man did nothing wrong. He should not be deported. Like, Let's talk about this just real quick. Give me 30 seconds and I'm gonna get to the point. My point is, I understand if people were acting in good faith. I understand why people may say that there's a necessity for due process. I disagree, but I get that some people may say that. And they may challenge Donald Trump and say, look, there's need to be due process when you ship people out of the country. But the problem is that these people picked probably the worst criminal to try to use that argument for. Because whether the argument makes sense or not, people don't want to hear sugar honey iced tea regarding a man who beat up his wife, regarding a man who was an MS-13 gang member with the tats on his hand, and also a man who's probably smuggling human beings according to body-worn camera. They couldn't have picked a worse person. But I'm glad for it. Let's watch this body-worn camera. This supposedly is the body-worn camera in Tennessee. This was in 2022 when they finally released the investigation that took place of him trafficking people from one state to the next state. And here's the evidence. Roll the clip.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good, and you?
All right.
Anything good?
You got a bunch of people in here, don't you?
It's one for yes. go back to work.
Gotcha. Where are you working at?
Where?
Where?
San Luis, Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm from to Maryland.
So where do y'all live at?
Where I live? I live in Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah,
Jose.
also.
Who's
Immediately, as a police officer, the police officer is asking him questions knowing the answer to these questions. You will rarely see a person driving down the freeway in the middle of the night with 8 people in a 6-person passenger vehicle. They literally got people in the back and they added an extra row to the car. So he got 8 extra people in this car. I think it's 10 people total in this SUV that probably only seats 6 people. So the cop already know what he's looking at. And when you ever ask somebody something and they repeat the question back to you, you know they're getting ready to lie. So when he said, "Where do you live?" He go, "Where do I live?" And he's not saying, "Where do I live?" because he didn't hear you. So he's saying, "Where do I live?" Is that what you asked me? That's not what he says. Well, that's not what he said. When you ask somebody something and they go, "Where do I live?" and they answer it, it's because they're trying to think of a lie. 99.9% of the time, that's the case. Go back just a little bit, Trent, and then we're going to continue forward.
I live in Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah, also.
Whose vehicle is it?
What, excuse me?
Whose car is it?
It's to my boss.
Your boss?
My boss,
Where's he live? Where's your boss live?
My boss right now is staying in Maryland, but he lives in Texas.
Okay.
In Houston, Texas.
After talking to Kilmar, the officers had no doubt he was trafficking.
You know what you got here, right? He's hauling these people for money. You got an ass hauler is what he's doing, but sometimes they commingle dope and
No. What?
he,
Did you see that squad in the back?
there's 8 people in there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. They put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid to haul these people, probably to Maryland, I would say, if I had my
He
guess.
said they all work together. That's what he's telling me. But he's the only one that knows how
So,
English.
so let me ask you this. They don't have any luggage in there, right? And if you get them out, they're going to have a toothpaste and they're going to have toothbrushes in their pockets, I guarantee you.
He's got $1,400 cash in his pocket in an envelope.
In the
Hold
video,
on.
you can see one of the
Hold on.
cops making a phone call.
Stop it.
The body cam.
I told you guys, they already know what's happening. This is one thing I want people to understand when it comes to police officers, is that they do this stuff so much that we can pick up immediately the telltale signs of what we would consider to be a crime. When somebody's driving down the highway, these state troopers are pulling people over 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the highway. They see everybody that's coming through the highway. They pick up on anything that's abnormal on the highway. And when they see a Mexican person who has broken English with 10 people in a car, $1,500 in his pocket, they know, because they've caught people doing this before, that they running people, smuggling people. I remember I got offered one time. It's the craziest thing ever. When I was in college, being in Tucson, which is a border city, well, you know, relatively border. It's the first major city you get to coming from Mexico. So a guy came to me on my football team and was like, "Hey, bro, you want to make some money? All you need to do is drive that car from there to there, and that's it. $1,500. And $1,500 in college in 2005, 2006 was a lot of money. And I was a college athlete. That's more money than I made in a month. And of course I said, go screw yourself, because I would never want to do something to go to prison for life, to be doing something I don't got no business doing. But this is what they do. So not only have I experienced this in person of people telling you to do this stuff, as a police officer, they see this all the time. I think I said enough. Roll the clip.
Audio cuts out for 10 minutes. Sources told us that on that call was Joe Biden's FBI, which advised police not to detain Kilmar at the time. That source also tells us Highway Patrol called Biden's ICE, and they never showed up. Biden's guys had an MS-13 gangster, suspected human smuggler and wife beater, released into the country. God knows what he did and was never caught for before Trump deported him. Primetime will keep digging and keep you posted when we find more.
Why is this important, ladies and gentlemen? It's important because the underbelly of illegal immigration and illegal alien activity is what's going on or going wrong with our country. People think, and not real people, like Democrats want you to think that these people are just coming over here and they have 100% innocent intentions, and they're going to come over here and they're going to work and they're going to pay taxes. They just need help. They're just innocent people from the southern border that walked over here, or somebody drove them over here and they're just peacefully waiting at the border. And it's all women and children, and the men that are coming over here want to be an American. And that's not true. A few things are afoot. One is that these people are not like us. A lot of them don't grow up in the same environment of law and order and all this other stuff that we deal with in America. So if you hungry and you live in a third world country, or you live in a country that's grimy and the police are corrupt, when you hungry, you do grimy stuff because that's what they do. Smuggling people from one state to the next state is normal to people like this because it's a way to make money. To you and I, that's prison time. But to an illegal alien, nothing will happen to you because they are afraid to even check your citizenship status. And that's the reason why they get let off. This dude should have went to jail. He should have at least been detained and arrested on trafficking, or there was probable cause to believe he was trafficking individuals. They could have took him aside, read his Miranda rights, and got him to confess to what they know to be true. And if he didn't want to talk, they at least had enough to detain him. But this experience is not just unique to this. It happened to me, and I got some more clips I'm going to show. Pull that clip up real quick. This happened to me when I was a cop. SB 1070. I got called, dispatched to a house. The complainant said my boyfriend beat me up. He's an illegal alien. He's not supposed to be in this country. He beat me up. I got a restraining order against him. She said all this stuff. We show up. He's there. Drunk as a skunk. She got knots on her head. She says he's illegal. He's illegal. He's not supposed to be in this country. He's illegal. So now we are doing our due diligence because, yeah, you mad at him because he beat you over the head for the third time and you're going to say whatever you want. Then we had a translator speak to him in Spanish, which he couldn't speak English, and he admitted to the translator that he is an illegal alien, that he don't have papers and he's illegally in America. So I arrest him on all of the domestic violence charges. SB 1070 said we had to do an SB 1070 check, which means that we got to check their status. So not only did he say he was illegal, I checked his status and he was illegal. Call Border Patrol. Border Patrol responds. This is under Barack Obama. When Border Patrol get there, they say, "Oh, we're sorry, we can't do nothing with him because he's drunk." I said, "Wait a minute, bro. He just committed domestic violence against this woman. He's admitting that he's an illegal alien. That means he snuck into our country. And you're saying that you guys cannot take him because he's intoxicated. What does that even mean? What does that mean?" And what do you know? I took him down to the jail, and hopefully they put an ice hold on him. I don't know if he got released to the general public or not. But that's the kind of stuff that I saw way back in 2013, 2012. That's the kind of stuff that I saw under Biden's administration and the FBI's directives and ICE directives. All right, here's another clip. Wrote a clip.
You've got a great exclusive here, and that is Kilmar Garcia, still held up in El Salvador. He is the alleged MS-13 gang member, alleged domestic abuser who was kicked out of the country by Trump. But you revealed this week through court documents from 2018 that Abrego Garcia was accused of being a gang member by his ex-wife and the father of her two kids. What more can you tell us about this charming fellow who Democrats seem to think really needs to come back to the U.S.?
Yeah, it's very strange because in the last few days, I just haven't heard the phrase Maryland man. It seems like that's really disappearing from the media as we continue to see more of these allegations come out. I mean, it feels like every day we're getting something new. And in the last few days, we've learned a couple of things. One of them, like you mentioned, there was this allegation from Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife, from an ex of hers who said, he is the father of two of her children, and he asked for a custody hearing in their children's case. And he said, literally verbatim, that it was because she was dating a gang member and he was worried about his kids and their safety. On top of that, Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife had filed 2 separate petitions with the court in Maryland seeking protective orders, one in 2020, one in 2021, against Kilmar. She alleged that he was physically beating her, that she was abusing her. She had to call the cops in one instance, she said, and there were many times that she had outlined alleged abuse on his part. There were other allegations, of course, that the Department of Homeland Security released. We could go on forever about this. I mean, it was the time he was detained for hanging out with MS-13 members in a Home Depot parking lot in Maryland. That time he was found wearing clothes with insignia that is consistent with MS-13 gang members. He was also found to have there was actually a credible witness who testified that they knew him, that he had rank in the gang, that he was absolutely a member. They even said he was a member of their Western clique. This just continues to unravel. And again, this is someone the media had put out as, a Maryland man, a father that had been wrongly deported. And yes, the Trump administration acknowledged there was a clerical error in his removal to El Salvador, but they do have mounting evidence against him at this point.
Now, let's put this in perspective real quick. I want y'all to know this, and I know y'all do, but I just want to specify this for when you talk to your friends who are leftist nut jobs. So police and FBI and authorities aren't guessing when we talk about indicia of being associated with a gang. They're not guessing. They're not speculating. We literally get charts. We literally go through training to identify characteristics, signs, tattoos, clothing, all of those things that are associated with particular gangs around the world. Why do we do that? Because of our own safety. And to identify if a person is looped into something a little more serious than what we see at face value. So when you see knuckle tattoos, this is not an FBI agent or somebody looking at these knuckle tattoos and they're going on ChatGPT and trying to see what it is. It's literally these knuckle tattoos are present on almost every MS-13 member who decides to address it in that way. It's going to be the same tattoos on the fingers, the same way in the same order. So as soon as they see it, and as soon as they see he's from El Salvador, and as soon as they put this together, and he's wearing a Bulls hat, all of that, and he's with other MS-13 gang members, 2 + 2 is 4. All right. Let's see what Tom Homan had to say about it. Roll it.
For more on all of this, let's bring in the White House border czar, Tom Homan. Tom, good to have you back here. I wanted to ask you about this newly revealed petition for a protective order that was filed by Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife, Giuffre, back in 2020. It says in part the following, quote, "I have photos of all the bruises he's left on my body. Me and my kids are afraid now. He's kicked me, pushed me, slapped me in the face, threatened me. I also have a recorded that he's told me, my ex-mother-in-law, that even if he kills me, no one can do anything to him." She alleges significant abuse, and this would seem to buttress the notion that this guy was not the husband and father of the year that Democrats are making him out to be.
Well, it supports what we've been saying from day one. We removed the public safety threat, gang member, designated terrorist, who's been ordered twice to be deported from the United States. He's in El Salvador. He's home. We did the right thing, but I hope that Democrats keep going down there. I hope they keep playing this game because they're showing the American people they're supporting a gang member, terrorist, public safety threat, white beater, rather than meet with Angels moms and dads. I'm meeting with 50 Angel moms and dads this afternoon. Is there one Democrat representative going to be there? No. So they can keep playing that game. It's a loser for them. We'll keep doing what we're doing.
So this from the DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin on the new revelations concerning Abrego Garcia. She said, quote, "We have now found 2 petitions for protection against him, in addition to the fact that he entered the country illegally and is a confirmed member of MS-13. Our country is safer with him gone." You mentioned the Democratic support of this guy. This is the hill that they have decided collectively to die on. Do you have any notion as to why they've chosen this person? Is there a bigger picture here that they haven't quite articulated yet?
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why would you die in the hill for, again, a public safety threat, confirmed MS-13 gang member, designated terrorist, who's had due process? He's been ordered removed by two different immigration judges. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's probably for the same reason they said they had a secure border for 4 years. Probably for the same reason they said that the Congress needs to change the law to secure the border. You know, so it's a continuing misrepresentation to the American people. And this clearly shows the support of an MS-13 gang member terrorist white beater is clearly showing the American people what they're about. And I think that's why President Trump won a landslide victory.
Yeah, so the Supreme Court issued an order demanding that the White House help facilitate the return from El Salvador of Abrego Garcia. But here's what the New York Times said about El Salvador's reluctance to do that. Quote, the Trump administration recently sent a diplomatic note to officials in El Salvador to inquire about releasing a Salvadoran immigrant. The authoritarian government of Nayib Bukele, the leader of El Salvador, said no. The Bukele administration claimed the man should stay in El Salvador because he was a Salvadoran citizen. So the administration made inquiries of Bukele about Abrego Garcia to get him out. Bukele said no. Is that the end of it?
I mean, are we supposed to go into a sovereign nation and kidnap one of their nationals? I mean, Bukele's made it clear he's a citizen, national El Salvador. And for all the leftists saying he was erroneously deported to El Salvador, they got to remember the withholding order was about fearing a gang in El Salvador, but that gang no longer exists. So the justification for that withholding order is gone. It's no longer exists. Plus, he's now designated a terrorist. And I watched some of the folks speaking before I came on, when they talk. Look, for all these congressmen to stand up and say we didn't give due process, let me remind them. They wrote the Alien Enemies Act. They enacted the Alien Enemies Act. Congress did. We're simply enforcing the law that's in federal statute that they created, that a president signed. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws that Congress enacts, and that's exactly what we're going to continue to do.
Now, I wonder how many people in the world actually saw that body-worn camera video. Because when you look at, go back to that clip real quick, Trent, thank you. When you look at this guy here, and he's got the polo shirt on, and he's got the thing, and they say Maryland man, or Maryland father, you think that he's an assimilated Hispanic person and that he's just working and living his everyday life in America. He speaks proper English. He's been here forever. And it's just a normal man like every other Hispanic guy that just works hard every day, comes home to his family, and he kind of got caught up in this. But then when you see the body-worn camera footage, you realize that this dude is more illegal than he is legal. Not only on paper, but he could barely speak English. So he ain't this innocent guy. And then he beat his girlfriend up. I mean, the girl was on TV. Michael Strahan asked her a simple question, is that, were you afraid of, and she just avoided answering the question about the restraining order she got. And if she really is that sick and scared, go back to El Salvador. We shouldn't even be having this conversation because the guy's an illegal alien. This is not like this is a person who legally was in his country and we're trying to send him back to the country that his parents were born at. This guy's illegally in our country. And let me say this. If I was in Congress, I would pass a law. If I could control it, right? I would be only one of many people. But I would pass a law that says if you went through a process to get here, you can experience a process to leave. If you came here with no process, then you can be kicked out of here with no process. Meaning that if you sneak in our border and you did not go through immigration law or you did not go through a port of entry, we can do you just like you came in here. You came in, we can put you right out. Why is that not common sense? How do you get due process when due process wasn't had when you came over here? You get to sneak in here and it take us years and years and years and taxpayer dollars of processes to get you out of here. How does that make any sense? All right, let's go to the next story. And shout out to Chance. He does our laser engraving. He's an employee here with me, and he made this for my birthday. So he made a Doge thing for me for my birthday, and this is what they call it, 3D printed. It's pretty cool. It's wooden and it's 3D. Well, it's not. It is wood. It's Wood or something. I don't know how he do it. He a genius. It ain't me. He a genius. He put this together. So shout out to him for making that for me. Maybe I'll sell this. Somebody can buy this little cool thing. It's a 1-of-1. Okay, let's get to the next story. White mother calls black child racial slur, now seeking donations. Pull Becky up here. Now, let's talk about the microcosm here. The reason that this woman, and you'll see after I play the video, the reason that this woman, let me start with this because people are going to get mad at me for starting there. I'm going to start here and I'm going to go back there. First of all, it is absolutely abhorrent for an adult to call a kid a name anyway. I don't care what name you call a kid. You so silly that you're going to call a kid a name, a little bitty kid, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, maybe, and you grown calling a kid a name. I don't care what name you call him. You so upset you call a kid a derogatory name. You silly. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Now, with that being said, and I do not support her calling this kid any name, especially not the name that you're going to find out that she called him, a little black kid. You know where this is going. But I do see, and I would never support this GoFundMe either. That's silly. But what I do see, and that most people ain't going to tell you, is that white folks are sick of black people. Black people have cried wolf so many times that now they just sick of it. And therefore, a person like this that do what you see her do can raise this much money. It's almost like an indictment. It's like y'all cry wolf every day, every time somebody say the word, and y'all call each other the word every day, and then y'all trying to get this woman fired or whatever they doing for her. And now look at they didn't raise money for her. All right, roll the clip.
You call him a child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you, sir.
Okay. All right, that's what you say.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him?
Yeah.
The little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
So keep it on the screen. So this is what I want to say about this. White people feel, I'm not saying every white person, y'all. Every time I say white people or black people, clearly, y'all, I'm not talking about every person. I'm giving a generic stance on it. I think white people feel like her. Like, this little kid is stealing. I'm sick of these kids that don't have good parenting and they stealing stuff and doing this and they acting like ends. And if I feel like they acting like ends, I should be able to say it. Just like if a black person feel like they acting like an end, he should be able to say it. And so all this virtue signaling around a word that black people just blow out of proportion, I'm over it. F off, put me on the internet. And that's what I think this woman had done. I do not think it makes sense for somebody to call a kid any name. But the N-word has, to me, it has lost its luster. It has zero power. For some reason, if you want to be a victim, it now activates to having power. And that's why I would never feel sorry for, or there's no justification for a black person responding to the N-word no different than they respond to any other word. And it's even worse when black people get mad about the N-word. When I saw this and the lady called a kid an N, her calling him an N is irrelevant to me. What's relevant is that the fact that she called a kid a name in the first place, the fact that she may have said something derogatory towards a kid in the first place is a problem. Now, I don't know where that kid parents at, because she doing all this and nobody came forward to claim this kid. I don't know if that lady down the road is babysitting the kid. I don't know what's actually happening here. But what I will say is that y'all can't get mad at that word no more, because every hip hop song, they saying N. I put my life on it. Every single time that black people are talking, generally speaking, if you listen to them for 10 minutes, the N-word is going to come up in that sentence, in that conversation. They cuss each other out with the N-word. They cuss white people out with the N-word. They cuss their dogs out with the N-word. They call each other the N-word. They call each other the N-word when it's your friend, when it's your enemy, when you're going to prison, when you're falling in love. They just N. Let a white person, now Samoan people can say it. Mexican people can say it. Arabian people, anybody brown can say the N-word. Black people ain't hurt about that. They can say it friendly or derogatory, but generally speaking, they get a pass. Let a white person rap to a song, and it's racism. Can't even rap the song. Can't even rap the song that you paid for. Can't even rap the song that you pay for from an audience that most people that look like you support. Y'all can go to the concert. Y'all can buy the tickets. Y'all can support with the merch. Y'all can go on tour. You can buy VIP tickets. You can make the person a platinum artist. You can do all that, but you better not sing his song publicly. Mexicans can do it. White, black can do it. You name it. But white folks, white folks who are the majority hip hop supporters, who give the most money to hip hop artists. The only reason hip hop artists are rich right now is because of white people all over the world. And y'all say they can't say the word. This is why that girl had a GoFundMe that was insane. A give, send, go, because she would have got banned on GoFundMe. What's the link to the comments?
It's an Instagram. It's an Instagram thing. We're not logged in, so.
No, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. The guy had reported, I just want to clear this up. The guy had reported that it was a 5-year-old. That wasn't a 5-year-old. That kid looked a lot bigger than the 5-year-old. But I just wanted to clear it up because I don't think that kid was 5. But I will say that some of y'all need to make sure your kids acting right and quit raising these thugs to do stuff. Now, I don't know if that kid was a thug. I don't know if he did what she said he did. More than likely, he did do what she said he did. That don't make him a thug. But y'all do need to raise your kids with some type of wherewithal and respect for authority and not have your kids stealing stuff. And they'll never be called an N-word by nobody. All right, let's go to the next story. A judge ordered the release of a UMass student accused of Tesla firebomb so that person can continue a sex change. I hope and pray that every single person that is unfairly enabling this behavior, I hope they go to hell and burn. Because there is no reason for this to be existing in our society. If you want to be trans, be trans. If you want to support trans people, support trans people. But you don't do it at the behest of other individuals. You don't do it while discriminating against other people. You don't do it while discriminating and destroying female sports because one person has a mental illness. This is where y'all get me mad and why I want you to go to hell. I don't care. I want you to go to heaven if you just love people. This person, I don't know this person. They should go to prison for life if you ask me, if they burn and firebomb and Teslas, because we don't need people like this in our society. But the person as an individual, I don't hate this person. This person is mentally ill and they really need to be locked up somewhere or get some help, one of the two, because we don't need people like this in our society. And it has nothing to do with being trans. It has everything to do with the fact that you're stupid enough that you're a college student and you decide to commit a felony crime by firebombing a Tesla because somebody's holding the government accountable. He almost should go to jail for just being stupid. That should be a crime, aggravated crime. You commit a crime, but then you stupid. On top of that, you get an aggravated charge. You commit a crime, you burn a Tesla. Yeah, if it's your ex or somebody that made you mad or something like that, but you doing it for nothing. You just burned a Tesla because somebody said Elon Musk is doing what? Holding the government accountable? You same leftist nut jobs that say, you need to hold the government. That's what he's doing. So our taxpayers aren't getting manipulated. Let me just make sure this is Let me just put this in perspective. Put him back on the screen. Put the transformer back on the screen. The person's name is Owen, 19 years old, a physics student diagnosed with autism, ADHD, depression, and gender dysphoria. How much you want to bet some of this has something to do with the... How much you want to bet some of this has to do with the diet? That kid growing up eating red 40 sandwiches. Growing up eating sugar and getting flashes all in their face with the phone and mama and daddy and them ain't paying no attention. Now the kid got issues. And instead of you supporting your kid, loving your kid, hugging your kid, making sure your kid got a good diet and not letting them get influenced by nut jobs, your kid wouldn't be doing this. Why is all of a sudden our kids got autism, ADHD, depression? What you depressed about? You live in America. How enough? We more depressed than people in Africa. Stomach way out here, they hungry, and we more depressed than they are. These kids out here, teeth rotting out, they dancing like this. They in the streets dancing. Mundugu, they dancing. And they happy. And they living their best life. And we in America, sad, because we want to change our genders. Jesus of Nazareth, help us all. People are mad, and they kids are growing up in America confused about what gender they are. I'm not telling you to do nothing crazy, but if you confused, when you go to the bathroom later, pull your pants down. And if you got a penis, you a man. If you got a vagina, you're a woman. If you confused, be not confused no more. I don't care what pills you take. I don't care what affirmations you got. You gonna always be a man, or you gonna always be a woman. Now you may wish you were a woman as a man. You may wish you were a man as a woman. You can impersonate. You can steal the identity of. But at the end of the day, it's either hanging or not. What else we need to say? If my son, if I had a daughter, and he came to me, she came to me and said, "Daddy, I'm confused about where I'm at," I'm gonna say, get in there and wash them dishes, and you won't be confused no more. Go out there and mow that grass, and then after that, we can talk about your confusion. Go and work out, and go to the gym. And when you finish playing sports, and when you finish with your homework, and when you're studying and reading books, and shit, come tell me how your gender feel after that. Put the video game down and be useful. The reason you even thinking about gender, because you sitting around the house playing video games, you ain't got no life, no purpose, no life, no God. That's why you confused. When I was growing up, I ain't thought nothing about gender. I ain't even thinking about that. I'm playing sports. I'm busy. I ain't got time to sit down and be like, am I really a man or a woman? I'm me. I know people gonna hate me for this. I just think this is just straight from the devil. We have bastardized our acceptance of certain things that are asinine. People may be attracted to the same sex. That don't mean you have to be gay. That don't mean you have to do it. Like I was talking to somebody today. I don't think any homosexual person have really given me a real good, concise answer about this. Attraction and decisions to be with somebody are two different things. And just because you're attracted to a man don't mean you need to be sleeping with no man. Just because you're attracted to a man more don't mean you need to be in a relationship with a man. You can make the decision to say, because, bro, I don't get it. I never will get it. What can a man do for you that a woman can't do? I just don't understand. If you sitting here saying I'm a man and I like another man because what, he hairy, women can grow hair too. Women, man, you get a chick doing CrossFit. She look like a man anyway. You look at her from the back, she look like your cousin. They play linebacker for the Packers. You can get a masculine woman. But see, y'all funny because y'all go out and get a man who act like a woman. What is that doing for you that you got a man, you want a man, because you a man, you want a man, but you want the man to act like a woman? You might as well get a woman. Same thing with these gay women. Like, you want a woman that act like a man. And when y'all getting busy in the bedroom, you using men stuff. How you putting that thing on? How you putting this thing on with a male thing on it? And you might as well be with a man. You doing man stuff, and she dressed like a man. Look at the WNBA. Okay. I just don't understand. Because the sentiment is very similar. If a man is attracted to another man, that does not mean that he have to pursue his attraction. Just like if a man that's heterosexual is attracted to a woman that's not his wife, you don't get to just go out and say, God made me this way. I like them big old booty and legs. I like breastises. So I'm going to get to cheat on my wife because God made me to like that. No, that ain't true. You make a decision. And everything ain't just attraction. Now, let me move into this. I'm getting somewhere. Somebody listening to me. If it's one person, you're going to change your life. You got to think this through. Every gay man don't like every man. So then what exactly are you attracted to? Because if you like men as a man, you don't like, maybe you like the fat ones or skinny ones or whatever. But people picky in that too. Gay men don't like fat men. Gay men don't like feminine men or masculine men or black men, white men, short men, tall men. You got your own spectrum of what you like and don't like that's not even involved necessarily in the fact that it's a man or not. So then, in my personal opinion, I should write a book about it. Then why do you feel like you have to do it? Why do you feel like you have to? If I got old, when me and my wife get old, my wife ain't never gonna age, just so y'all know. I'm gonna give an example about your wife, not my wife, because she perfect and she ain't never gonna not be perfect, all right? She watching this, that's why I gotta say that. Y'all just watch it. I want a happy home when I get home, okay? I want to be able to smoke my cigars in peace. But if your wife got fat, and you were like, I don't like fat girls, and you're not attracted to her no more, does that mean you get to leave her? No. You just got to be a mature enough individual to say, I'm attracted to more than what's on the external. I'm attracted to you because you love me, because you're patient with me, because you're kind and you're generous. And we get along and we friends and we can talk and we get out. That's what I'm attracted to. That's what attraction that leads to long marriages, not the external look. Because believe it or not, there's always going to be a woman that look better than your woman. There's always going to be a man that look better than your man. God don't stop making people when he made you and her. There's going to be a man that's 6'7", with green eyes. You like, how did God make him like that? I don't want my wife to see him because then she gonna think she want him over me. Not my wife because she perfect, but your wife maybe. But you get what I'm saying, y'all? Like, it's a choice that people make. It's a choice. It's not that you were born this way. It's not that you did. It's a choice that you make, and you can make a different choice if you so please. Quit acting like you a victim. Anyway, let's move on. I beat that dead horse into the afterlife. Let me go with this Virginia, what is that, Giuffre? I think that's how you say her name. Giuffre. Allegedly, well, she was killed or she died. Well, she's dead. I don't know what happened to her, but I know she dead. Now, allegedly, there were statements that she made. In 2019, she posted on social media, she posted a warning that says, I'm making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I suicidal. If something happens to me, don't let this go away. So allegedly she posted this in 2019 on social media. And one of the reasons why she's even in a controversial situation is because she allegedly called out or accused Prince Andrew of sexual abuse of a minor. Now, Prince Andrew ended up settling in 2022 without admitting to guilt. Now, it is believed that because she accused such a prominent person in Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew and others, that somebody killed her. So her dad came out. Put the clip up. Her dad came out to reiterate the statement that his daughter wasn't suicidal and this wasn't a suicide. This was the fact that because of her involvement in this, that somebody got to her. And then I'm going to give my opinion after Daddy speak, because I think I have something that's important to identify that most people aren't talking about. Roll the clip.
Tell me about your reaction when you heard that she'd taken her life.
Well, first of all, I couldn't even believe it. I mean, I started crying right away. I'm still crying. I can't believe that this is happening. It's impossible. And then for them to say that she committed suicide, there's no way that she did. Somebody got to her.
So that's her dad saying it. So parents, listen, I'm going to give you two sides. Some parents are grieving. They're in denial. Some people who are narcissistic will love to have the world continue to talk about them in an allure of mystery and perpetuity. So I can see a dad being confused because he didn't really know how his daughter was really thinking, and he's in denial. And I can also see on that side a young lady who was suicidal and that wanted to hold her identity at a certain point in perpetuity, knowing that nobody would ever find out that she was murdered because she wasn't murdered, and knowing that people would be forever looking for a suspect because the suspect don't exist. I see that could be. But I also see on the other side is that dad didn't know his daughter. Man, your daughter don't get to 40 years old and you don't know her like the back of your hand. You know when she's sad. You know if she's suicidal or not. You know if she has the propensity to do this. You know if she on drugs or not. Your dad didn't know they kids. And I can also see her being like, yeah, no, I would never do this. I need to put this out here because people do get unalived. If y'all, not unless y'all sleeping on the rock. The Hillary Clinton clan allegedly have knocked a few people off the map. And they've been suicided. Jeffrey Epstein. Now, maybe he did it, but somebody was complicit, which means that they set up the situation where he could do it, or somebody got in his cell and they did something to him. How both guards fall asleep, the camera's not working. All this, he had a roommate in it. They moved his roommate. He was on suicide watch. They took him off suicide watch. I mean, God dang. This is the most prolific pedophile ever to be arrested in American history, potentially. And y'all can't keep him from, y'all falling asleep. What? We ain't that stupid. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment in the comment section. What do you think about this young lady? Do you think she was unalived? She was forced unalived, if you want to call it. I don't want to use those words because it's going to ding us. But let me know what you think about Virginia. I don't know what to think. I wasn't following this situation, and I hadn't been following her. But I do know these things do happen to good people. All right. My favorite topic. Oh, man, I thought this was the last topic. I probably got to make it the last topic because it's getting late in the day. Shedeur Sanders. I want to have Stephen A. to come on and talk about Shedeur, but I'll probably have Stephen A. to come on and talk about Shedeur at a time when Shedeur finally goes to the first practice and whatever happens there, and we'll see how the NFL pans out. But Umar Johnson and this whole Shedeur Sanders thing is embarrassing to me. I am ashamed that the people of the melanin would rather celebrate a thug or ignorant, entitled young man versus a young black man who made it from the mud, who worked hard, who was a 0-star coming out of high school. He didn't have a daddy that was famous, that was a Hall of Famer. He didn't have a college opportunity because his namesake. Cam Ward went to nowhere land. I ain't never heard of that college he went to before he went to Washington State. And when he was at Washington State, I said, that kid is special. He is a man amongst boys on that Washington State team. If he was on a better team, he'd be winning. The next year he went to Miami. He's a team leader. The boy showed up and showed out. They almost won the national championship. He almost won the Heisman. If it wasn't for Travis Hunter, Cam Ward would have won the Heisman. That boy is a leader. That boy is got. I mean, he ain't perfect. He not the white man. The white man. I'm gonna be like the white man. No, he got his own style, his own swag. He ain't perfect, but the boy is a dog. He gonna grind. He gonna work for everything he got. I love that kid, Cam Ward. I love the way he played football. I love the way he approached the game. I love the way he stand on business. Why can't we get behind Cam Ward? Why do we got to get behind the one driving the road, culling in college, millions of dollars in his pocket? He ain't that good, but he think he ain't. He think he good. Telling teams, when I get there, you better be ready for me to change your culture. You went 13-11 at Colorado. You ain't never won a bowl game in the history of you playing football. In the last game y'all played in that bowl game, y'all got murked. You didn't participate at the combine. You didn't participate at the Senior Bowl. What are you doing? But we celebrate him and not Cam Ward. That's why some of y'all ain't never gonna be nothing. Roll the clip.
And NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe they all came together in a KK Ku Klux Klan type of clandestine meeting, and they decided, allegedly, I believe, that they were going to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son, Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, stop him right there. You know how stupid he sound, Umar Johnson? If that was the case, why did he ever get drafted? He didn't get drafted in the 6th round or the 7th round. They took him in the 5th round. If they wanted to collude to embarrass him, the embarrassment would be that he didn't get drafted at all. That would be embarrassing. But the fact that he still had an opportunity, he still got drafted on a team that shouldn't have drafted him because they got 5 quarterbacks. And they drafted another quarterback in the 3rd round in front of him. So what's the collusion about? They want to embarrass Deion. Why? They gave Deion a Hall of Fame jacket. Why would the NFL want to embarrass the Hall of Fame Deion Sanders? If anything, somebody would have took Shedeur and made money because of how popular he is and how many jerseys they'll sell. But the fact of the matter, the kid is not good enough to be having an arrogant, entitled attitude. He's not good enough. And I'm telling you this, the way he pat that ball before he throw it, it's going to be a problem. They try to say Tom Brady does it. Tom Brady's pat is like this. You see that? You barely tell. Shedeur is like, I played defensive back in college. A defensive back's dream, and I want to call it the other dream. Y'all know what dream I'm talking about. A defensive back's dream is when you're backpedaling and you got 2 seams going up the middle of the field. You in cover 3. You got 2 seams coming at you. And the quarterback looks this way. And then he turns this way, pats the ball. Your dream has come true. Because you know that when he looked this way, he's trying to look you off. When he comes this way to throw it and he has to pat the ball, you know he's committed to throwing that ball to this guy. He can't do this and come here and go back. He has committed to throwing that ball. Pro Bowl. Defensive backs are going to become Pro Bowlers. But let me finish the clip. Roll it.
On draft day. to me, is a reminder to every black man in America. No matter how rich, no matter how wealthy, no matter how famous, you are still a ninja in this society. And you better never forget that. First of all, Shedeur Sanders was my favorite college football player for the past couple of years.
Why?
He's probably going to be my second favorite football player behind Jalen Hurts.
Because he black.
I even heard that the Eagles were interested in him. But I believe, allegedly, that the NFL owners got together. And I do believe, unlike my good brother Stephen A. Smith, and I do believe, unlike my good brother Stephen A. Smith, that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe, allegedly, was also involved on this scandal to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son Shedeur.
All right. Let's get to the facts, okay? Shedeur Sanders, these are just quotes and attitude summaries from what we've seen in the NFL. It was mentioned by an anonymous NFL assistant coach that the worst interview I have ever been in, ever. That means Jamarcus Russell and all of these busts that have gone on in the NFL, that this is one of the worst interviews ever. Team said he was entitled, blamed his teammates. We seen him do it at the press conference. I wish I had the clip of it. We seen him do it at the press conference. He like, well, how many times did so-and-so get sacked? What world are you living in, bruh, where you blaming your offensive lineman and they on the same team as you, working out at the workout facility, and they got a block for you, and you throw all them under the bus at the game because you got sacked too many times? Well, you hold on to the ball way too long, too, so you don't give him any kind of props or any kind of chance. Skip media obligations. He says he missed a CBS pregame meeting before Colorado State's game, seen as disrespectful by media and scouts. Let me tell y'all something, young men. This ain't not just for football. You need to have good character and develop an appropriate reputation if you ever gonna make it in life, especially if you playing football and especially if you go to the NFL. Don't be silly. Even if the team don't draft you, you want them to have a great opinion about you, because people do talk around the league, and some of these coaches are friends. And so you have a guy who have an incredible reputation. He tested well. He did well on the interviews, but they just couldn't pick him for whatever reason. When you're a free agent, after the other team cut you, every team is bidding for this incredible young man that's now available. Versus if you're a sucker and you just act like everybody owe you something, people are like, nah, we don't have time to be. We got a Super Bowl to win and a franchise to develop. We don't have time to be worried about Deion and his son every day. Because his son ain't playing or they ain't running the right plays. Deion is calling the head coach and stuff. They don't want that on their team, especially when you ain't that good. Some of the criticism that he holds on to the ball too long, I said it. The struggle to make decisions under pressure, Stevie Wonder can see it. He doesn't play on time. Arm strength is questionable. Obviously, Deion Sanders was a problem. The media circus that I said that follows him, too much media engagement. That means that he's distracted. He's not watching football. He's not playing football. He want to be a celebrity. He don't want to be a quarterback. He not putting his whole life, effort, and energy into this. And so this is why he failed. And this is why Umar Johnson is an idiot. Because for you to say black men everywhere, you still an N. Is Cam Ward an N? Is, what's his name? Abdul Carter an N? Is Hunter Biden? I mean, I said Hunter Biden. Travis Hunter. Hunter Biden is probably an N. He a white N. But is Travis Hunter an N? Well, like, I just don't get it. Like, if they pick white boys in the top 5, and most white dudes were in the NFL draft, then I'd see some of your argument. But my man, the first pick was a black kid with braids in his hair. The second pick was a black kid with dreads. going on the stage doing this, which I don't mind, bro. When you ball out like that, bro, you can do the chicken, the frog, or whatever you want to do. You can dance, you can do it, you backflip, you him. Abdul Carter, probably one of the best defensive ends to ever play the game in college. He came on with gold teeth in his mouth and a big old chain on. Why they let him get drafted? Number 3 overall. Oh, no, it's 4 overall. Was it 3 or 4? Then they had the white offensive line for LSU. That's fine. That's one white dude, and he was the best in the nation. Allegedly, he didn't give up a sack his whole career after past his freshman year. And then Ashton Genty, the number 1 running back picked. Ashton Genty got tats and all of that stuff. He is more of a decorated player, in my opinion. What happened to him? He's still an end? Y'all don't want me to go. I don't have time to do it, Nick, but I'm like, God is my witness. If I went through every draft, forget it. Let's do it. Pull up the clip real quick. Go to, not clip, but go to NFL draft. Go to 2025NFLdraft.com or something like that. It's going to pull up, and then it's going to give me the option to pick the years. And I'm just going to click a couple years, and that's going to be it. I don't know if you can get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. I got to do this. I got to do it. Some of y'all watching live, maybe we got to do this. I have to do it. I can't live with these shenanigans. I wonder if this the website that I'm thinking about. Let's see. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to put it up on the screen. We're going to go to 2025, and we're just going to go to the top several players picked, and we're going to see how many of them are black. And then we're going to go to a couple years, and we're going to see how many of them are picked or black. This I think this will work. I know that's not the one. If you make it bigger, make the screen bigger, and see if it'll push the ads to the side. Are you working on it? Are you working on it, Wise? Okay. Y'all just be patient. We're gonna figure it out. I'm saying if you make the screen bigger, maybe. Y'all, we getting it. Just be patient. We trying to do this on a drop of a dime. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this may be better than the one I was looking at. Yeah, I think that's better. That kind of pushed those. Now you got to go. Zoom it out. Zoom it in a little more. You had it zoomed in right. Keep zooming. Zoom. Right there. Right there. Right. Good. Okay. All right. Perfect. Why does it look like this? Oh, desktop capture. Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna get to it. I promise. I promise you. On everything. All right. Let me do it. I control it? Yeah. All right. Let's look at this. This is 2025 Cam Ward. If you don't know what Cam Ward look like, this is what Cam Ward look like. Let's go down the list, man. You got Travis Hunter, black. Abdul Carter, black. Will Campbell is that white kid from there. But you got defensive tackle Mason Graham from Michigan. Oh, he white. So it was two white guys? And then everybody else black. Genty, dreads, black. Who you got here? A black kid, dreads. Who? Oh, this guy, he ain't black, but he came from Arizona. Shout out to Arizona wide receiver. I don't think he black. He like Polynesian or something. Samoan or something. You thought he was black? Oh, you think we all look alike? No, I'm just playing. Look, man, he got tribal tattoos and stuff on him. Anyway, who else is in there? What's Kevin Bank, offensive lineman? He from Texas. He at least got a clean haircut. But all these other guys got dread. I mean, I go down the list. Everybody black. Everybody black. Everybody black. All right? 2 white guys in there. Everybody else black. Let's go to another year. Let's go to 2024. Caleb Williams, black, with doo-doo birds in his hair. He got an egg nest in his hair. Black. I don't think they were racist. Oh, the Heisman Trophy winner. Dreads. Jaden Daniel, black. Who next? Drake is probably white. Yeah, he white. They got one white boy in there. Affirmative action, DEI draft. They got to get a white boy in there. Oh, who's next? Marvin Harris Jr. Only his dad was only the greatest wide receiver probably to ever play the game. One of them. He married up, boy, because Marvin Harris wasn't nowhere near as tall as he is. His son is a GOAT. Dreads. What a culture at? White boy. Okay. One white. Oh, look at him. Look at Malik. Black guy. CJ, black, dreads. Michael Penix, black man. Here's the wide receiver. Odunzi, black man, braids. JJ White. I knew he was white when I saw his name. Bo Nix is white. Brock is white. I know you got somebody. Ain't a black person alive named Brock. But this kid is cold, man. They had a class last year, bro. This kid was cold, bro. Brock Bowers was cold. Let's see who else are here. Y'all get the point, man. All these kids black. Black. The last two first overall picks were two black quarterbacks. Let's go to 03 and let's see where we at. Black. The last 3 years been a black quarterback is the number 1 pick overall. Number 1. That's the most money getting paid is this guy. And it's been 3 of them in the last 3 years that have been black. And the last 3 years, they won a Heisman Trophy. So you ends who on here acting like the league ain't ready for black quarterbacks. And the black man, you always going to be a black man. Brother, the last 3 quarterbacks who've been picked in the first round or the first pick, overall pick, have been black. And then the last 3 years, every quarterback, did Bryce win this year? Or did, what's the name when he's wide receiver? No, win the Heisman. I think the last 3 years were all 3 black quarterbacks, wasn't it? Yeah, Caleb Williams, Jalen Daniels, and him, Bryce Young. Jalen Daniels was the number 1 overall. No, he wasn't number 1 but he won the Heisman. Yeah. So I said, last 2 years with number 1 overall was black quarterback, and the last 2 years I think were black quarterbacks winning the Heisman. Yeah. No, because that wide receiver won the Heisman. No, I'm talking about Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and I thought it was Bryce Young. I mean, before this year. Anyway, let's go back to 2020. It can't be 2022, please. It gotta be a white kid. It gotta be a white kid. Oh no, black kid, Georgia. Offensive tackle. He's a defensive end. I forgot I wasn't paying attention this year. God dang. Defensive end from Georgia, number 1. Black kid, number 1. Who's this? Defensive end, cornerback. I'm trying to find if there's a quarterback that won. This must be a bad year for quarterbacks. Who's the number 1 quarterback picked? White boy. But the number 1 pick has been black. Do we want to go to 2021? Let's just go to 2021. Oh, Trevor Lawrence was picked. White kid. 4 years ago? Let's go 2020. Who was 2020? White kid, Joe Burrows. And you got to think, both of them won the national championship. So would it be shocking to you? They went number 1 overall? No. How many championships did Shedeur win? None. Kyler Murray, number 1 overall. So in the last, 5 or 6 years, the majority of the first overall picks have been black. And when you talk about quarterbacks, the majority of them have been black quarterbacks. All right, I'm going to go 18. I just got to go 18. Hold on, let me go my year. I was in the 2010 NFL draft. Who got picked? Sam Bradford. Yeah, he was cold. Anybody watching football, Sam Bradford was killing it at Oklahoma. 05, when I came out of high school, who was picked? 05, number 1 overall. Alex Smith. Cedric Benson was my boy, man. R.I.P. said Beasley. Cedric Benson was my boy. Cadillac Williams. Y'all don't know about that. See, Nick them too young for these guys. He don't know. He ain't going back. Hey, Andre Roll. They too young, bro. DeMarcus Ware. Y'all too young, bro. You know DeMarcus Ware? Mark Clayton. You know Mark Clayton? No, you don't know Mark Clayton, bro. You wasn't there, bro. He was raw. Yeah, Fabian Washington. Yeah, y'all don't know, bro. Y'all don't even know these people, bro. Y'all too young. Let's go back. Let's go to 2002. David Carr, what a bust. No, I'm just playing. I don't know if David Carr's career was good. But Julius Peppers, the coldest dude in the game. Julius Peppers played. Do you know Julius Peppers? Yeah. You better. I was going to fire you today. Julius Peppers. You know Quinn Jammer? Yeah. Why? Because he played for the Raiders? Chargers. He played for Chargers? Yeah. Oh, he got drafted by the Chargers. Yeah. But did you watch him when he played at Texas? No. Oh, you wasn't there. I used to go to the game and watch Quinn Jammer be jamming them. I was like 3, but all right. You were 3? Yeah. You should still go to the game, bro, if you really cared. Ryan Sims, Roy Williams from Oklahoma. Sean Taylor should have won the Thorpe Award this year. I don't know how Roy Williams run a Thorpe Award. Dwight Freeney ran a 4.3 and a 40. Defensive end, 268, 4.3. Dante Stallworth, man, I've been doing this. My son be thinking he know more in football than me. I'm like, boy, I was doing this before you were born. Hold on, what's Sean Taylor year? Sean Taylor won 03. No, he won 04. Sean was in 04. No, hold on, where was Sean at? Yeah, Sean right here, 04. You had Eli Manning go. Larry Fitzgerald went. And my boy Sean T. Sean T would have been the greatest safety to ever play the game. Kellen Winslow went to prison after he went to with 8th overall. Roy Williams was you know Roy Williams? Yeah. From Texas? Did you watch him at Texas? No, you didn't because you was 5 and you didn't love football that much. Dante Hall, you remember Dante Hall, Virginia Tech? Nah, because you don't love football, bro. Ben Roethlisberger at Ohio, bro, you too young. Jonathan Vilma, Miami. Who else on? DJ Williams, Miami. They played together. Imagine that team, bro. You know how many people win the first round from Miami on the defense? 6. I think they had 5 people go first round. I think like 4 of them were on defense. Let me go through this and I'm going to move on. I promise y'all. I'm just having a good time. It's Friday. Sean T went. Kellen Winslow. That's 2. And then they had, who else? They had Jonathan Vilma. That's 3. DJ, 4. Vernon Carey, 5. Bro, that's 5 in the first round so far. Then they had Vince Wilfork, 6. Who else they had? They had one more person. 6, 4. Nah, that was it. They had 6. Vince Wilfork, Hall of Famer. Vernon Carey, I think he's a Hall of Famer. DJ Williams, maybe. Jonathan Vilma, definitely Hall of Famer. Sean Taylor would have been a Hall of Famer if he hadn't died. Kellen Winslow would have been a Hall of Famer if he hadn't went to prison because he was a weirdo. And, all right. I think that's it. Is that it? I got one more story. Jasmine Crocker crap.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do we need to do Jasmine?
Yeah, we can do Jasmine.
Do we need to do Nick? I don't want to do it.
All right, we don't have to.
I'm kind of tired. Do we need to do it? Let's do it, bro. Put it on the screen. Jasmine Crocker crap. These black people simping for illegal aliens is insane to me. They go harder and they support Mexicans and illegals more than they do their own people. Show me legislation that Jasmine Crockett has gotten passed or that has fought harder for or proposed more so than illegal immigration. Something that will benefit black people. Show me the clip. You can't find it. Wrote this clip.
And let me tell y'all what they just voted for. I want y'all to take a guess. Okay, y'all probably not going to guess it because it don't make sense. But if you think of the most ridiculous thing that they could do, okay, I know that that's really hard too because everything that they do is quite ridiculous. But literally, they just voted. They being the other ones, not us, because we were all on the right side of history. They just voted to give Trump the ability, legally, to give him the ability to deport U.S. citizens. That is what they voted for. A bunch of elected U.S. representatives. That is how they voted. Am I telling a lie, Eric, or no?
No, I got my salad here. Mouthful. No, I'm stunned.
I'm not. But I'm glad that you... Oh, okay. Eric been here longer than me, but like...
So what we said was, we even said, you know what, many of us will not offer any more amendments tonight. We won't vote for the overall bill. But if you agree to this, we'll drop any other amendments. We'll take the win that this would be in the bill, that you would agree U.S. citizens can't be deported. They voted to allow Donald Trump to deport U.S. citizens. And they did it during the week that we learned that a 4-year-old little girl fighting cancer, a U.S. citizen, has been deported, separated from her U.S. citizen father and her cancer treatment. So, yeah, it's kind of shocking.
Well, he's shocked. Y'all, listen now. I came in with nothing but fools. So he been here longer, so maybe he still has a little bit of shock in his life, but I don't personally. Because the fact is, we used to live in a world in which where we saw the news about that baby that got deported, the baby with cancer, because supposedly he the man that's all about the children with cancer, right?
All right, stop it.
That's why he made sure one of his...
Whoa anymore. These people are so disingenuous, it's kind of insane to me. It's funny how when that young boy who was battling cancer and beat cancer, there was an honorary Secret Service member or whatever, I think it was something like that, that they couldn't even stand for him. And they have never posted about him. They never supported him. They never did anything. They never met his family. They never said anything to his family. They never did anything to help that American boy, young black boy who had cancer. They never did anything for him. All of a sudden, an illegal alien who had a child in America, the child gets deported accidentally or not, and they all simping for her. She has cancer. You know how many people in America have cancer that y'all effing over? But let's look at it for what it is. These things could happen, but that's not the intent of our government to deport little children. It is absolutely stupid. Let's look at the law. Here's some notes here. U.S. citizens is not a shield for breaker parents. Citizen rights for children remain fully protected, but parents who break the law cannot expect immunity from enforcement. That means if you broke the law and you committed crimes and you had a baby here, you can't be absolved from being prosecuted against the law. Because I hope every lawmaker who did this burn in hell. I know it's extreme, but I'm sick of these people. They created so much problems for us, and they never had to do it in the first place. You shouldn't be able to come to America and have a baby here, and somehow that baby become an American citizen, and you're now stuck here for life. Because what do people do? They come here and they know, I gotta have a baby, I gotta have a baby. But the mother don't have no money, and they don't have no stability, but they go to the hospital and have a baby for free. But you finna pay a couple $100,000 to have your baby, or you finna get hit on your insurance to have your baby, but they come over and have as many babies as they want to and don't take care of them for free. So the government is saying you are not protected. Because if you came over here illegally, they're going to send you back. And you can't just get absolved because that's a workaround of our laws. Let's go to some more. Deportation, the truth about U.S. citizen children and illegal parents. No law allows deporting U.S. citizens. Let me make that very clear. There's no law that allows deporting U.S. children. Enforcement targets illegal immigrants, not their citizen children, period. Also, what parents can do is they can leave their citizen children in the USA with a family member or guardian, or they can take their children with them voluntarily. So don't act like there's separation of families, because if they deport your kid can go with you. If your kid don't go with you because you chose that. All right. Media claims that children are falsely claim that children are deported. Parents opt to keep families together by leaving with their children. So when you see somebody get deported and they're like, oh, they also deported, hell is gonna be full, boy. That's gonna be a full concert. They're gonna be sold out. They know this, y'all. They know that when people get deported, that they take their children with them. Because why would you want to leave your child here by themselves in a group home when you could take your kid with you and they can come back with you? But what the Democrats want is that for the person to come over here to never have an opportunity to go back, or for us to never be able to take them back, either by allowing them to go through challenges and court proceedings for decades on taxpayer dollars so we don't send them back, or if they have an anchor baby, we can't send them back. But they know that these people are getting deported, but they leave out that fact. And they only talk about the child that left with the deported parent. And they say they're deporting children. All right, due process. Deportations happen only after legal proceedings. Courts protect the rights of citizens' children, so they can't lie on that. Breaking immigration laws create these situations, which people need to be held accountable for those situations. Millions of immigrants come legally and avoid such problems. So the question is, why don't you come legally? They did. Their kids will never be separated from them. They'll never have to go back to Mexico or wherever they came from. They never have to do none of that stuff. They're here right now. They got money. They building families. They working. They join the military. They doing all this other stuff. And y'all want to come here legally and do this stuff, and that's why you're in the position that you're in. Let's see. Real example, VML, Louisiana, mother took her 2-year-old daughter to Honduras. In Florida, Cuban mother chose to take her infant with her. Cancer patient case, mother rejected U.S.-based care options. This is what she did. And this is the situation that occurred with the cancer patient young girl that they claimed that they deported, like if they deported her by herself. Citizens, we already said this, the bottom line, Trump administration enforced the laws while respecting citizen rights. They know it, we know it, we all know it. These people full of, you know what? And like I said, every day, I'll pray for them, but I hope that if anybody go to hell, it's going to be them. All right. I love you guys. It's the weekend. I hope you have an incredible week. Make sure you get Shinergy. It's flying off the shelves, which I'm happy for because it was it took us a while to get this thing going. We've been working hard for the last several years. The stress and the money I put behind this, no outside funding. This is all Brandon Tatum trying to reallocate resources to build a brand, and we made it good. This is good. This tastes good, and it has efficacy. And I interviewed my formulator today, and we're going to put that interview out later so you guys can see, one, is that the guy is brilliant. Two, is that I'm not private or white labeling this stuff, giving you a generic supplement that everybody has on the market. There is no supplement like this. Now, it's supplements in the same category, but there's no supplement with the same formulation, right? We have a proprietary blend. We had it formulated from scratch, and nobody else is doing this. And I know somebody's going to try to mimic what I did, which God is in control, because if somebody got more money than me, they recreate this complete energy philosophy. What can I do about it? I just tried to make the best supplement I can, and I want to help y'all. So some big company is going to take the idea and run with it. If it's helping people in a legitimate way, then so be it. But we created clean, complete energy, where you take the night drink, helps you go to bed, help you get good sleep and nutrients while you're asleep. Therefore, you wake up with energy and with a clear mind. And then you take the daytime thing, only 75 grams of caffeine, which is not too much caffeine. I don't want you to get jittery. I don't need people getting addicted to caffeine. I don't want you to have caffeine crashes and caffeine cravings. This is a very cold sweats like Nick did the other day when he was drinking that stuff from Black Rock. But I want you to have proper nutrition so you can have sustainability and focus. And the thing is, and I'm not trying to belabor too much, but for people that care, I did this for me. I'm not going to lie. I said, what can I do to help me have focus, have brain power and energy in a clean and natural way to help me do all this stuff that I'm doing, whether it's traveling, whether it's speaking, whether it's doing podcasts. Y'all see me everywhere. How do you think I do all this? And how can I do all this effectively and efficiently in a safe way, healthy way for a duration of time? And that's because I formulated the supplement from scratch. And then also, I struggle with sleep. I always struggle with sleep. I have sleep apnea. So I said, let me develop a product that can help me get the best natural sleep I could possibly get without overdoing melatonin and having fake synthetic stuff in the drink to knock you out and have you wake up foggy and all that. We don't have that. We developed the night drink, so you don't feel that way. Also, the last thing I'm going to say is the name Shinergy. A lot of people don't know this. I try to keep it a little subtle. However, I think it should be known. The reason why I named the product Shinergy is because of the letter Shin, which is the 21st letter in the Hebrew language, and it has a significant connection to God. When you see the word El Shaddai, Shabbat, all of those words start with the letter Shin. And it has a close connection and identifying marker when it comes to God in heaven. And also, if you have a mezuzah, which I have one on my the doorway to my office, and I looked it up. I got it in the right position. I got it at the angle. I got it all right there. And I got the mezuzah online. It has the scroll in it and everything, right? I didn't get it from Israel, but I got it. All right. And so the mezuzah, if you look at the mezuzah, there's a shin on the mezuzah. And all of those things is the reason why I decided to name it Shin. So it's literally, the way I interpret it, is God energy. And so everybody who gets a Shinergy product, we send you not only the Shinergy product, but they got the prayer. We send you a prayer and an affirmation on a card. So every morning, if you don't know what to pray, this can be a prayer for you. If you don't know how to speak life to yourself and speak affirmations to yourself, we wrote an affirmation for you. And all of these things are Christ-centered. Now, some people may not know that, but we did it anyway. So all the people out here that don't love God, don't know God, they still going to be drinking it, and then they're going to find out one day that they got God on their chest. But all right, I love you guys. Go get Shinergy at Shinergy Life. And it's just one of many products that we're going to create. Can't wait for the testosterone supplement to come out. We tweaked it a little bit to make it a lot better. Love you. Happy weekend. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.